And hey guys, it's another episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. It's your girl Jaylah, and I am here bringing you the latest and greatest with our founders and CEOs and see everything that's coming up and what they have going on in the tech space right now. And today I'd like to welcome Michael and Lucy from Be There Group. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey
Hey,
Jaylah, how
how
are
are
you?
you? How are you, Jayla?
Welcome, welcome. Well, let's kick it off. I want to know a little bit about you guys first individually and then how you guys became a team.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, I can start off. So I'm Lucy Oliveira, and then I'm the founder of Be There. My background is pretty diverse. I come from a bunch of different backgrounds, but the main thing I started off with when I finished college was poker. I decided to become a professional poker player.
Wow.
Yeah, so exactly.
Nobody hears that. I went to
Yeah,
college and became a poker player.
I
yeah.
love watching everyone's reaction when she says
Yeah, it was very random. Online poker, moved to Chicago, did it for about 6 years, came back to Miami. When I decided to retire, which was about 2.5 years ago, I worked as a concierge. And that's where the idea of Be There came to fruition, which was that I saw a big gap between the hotel industry and how outdated it is and tech. So came with got together with Michael. We were friends beforehand. Told him about the idea. Like I had put Be There to rest a little bit because I had tested it already during the time I became a concierge. But then I got hired by Meta. So worked at Meta and really honed my skills with tech there and learned a ton from like A-type personality individuals. And then when I met Mikey, I told him about everything that I was doing. And then we were like, you know what, let's bring Be There back to life. And so we did that. And then I'll let Mikey take it from there because I know his expertise is amazing. So I want him to also give us a little bit of what he's done.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jayla, again for this time. We really appreciate it. Just a little bit background of myself. Like I mentioned to you before, most people will know this. I actually wanted to follow the pastoral call, so I was heavily involved in the church world. Started very young. One of the biggest passions I have is really setting up the next generation for the future. That kind of then turned into technology business. So I went into that early in my career. I worked for some civil engineering companies. Ended up at MTV working media entertainment for a few years. And then that opened. I remember we spoke a bit about
MTV,
that.
MTV alums.
Yeah. So getting a ton of experience there, kind of climbed the ladder in a unique way. Literally went from department to department trying to figure out what I love to do, what I was really into. Ended up in ad sales, which then opened my eyes to new opportunities in technology. And I applied for this company named Uber. At the beginning, it was just a thought, Uber Eats, but I was
Wow.
privileged to
A
be a
little,
part.
I've never heard of Uber Eats. Wow.
Yeah, so small company that we don't really hear about anymore. But I was fortunate enough to be granted an opportunity there, and that's really where tech was really open to me in a magnificent way, where I learned not only go to market strategies, development, sitting with engineers, understanding the economics, and running a business like that. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of that, and also part of a team that really made the difference, made that business profitable for the first time in its existence. At that point, it was 6 years old. And now the rest is history. And to know that our team was part of that, our team was recognized. It was four of us at the beginning, where we changed the game when it came to tech and delivery space. And then I met Lucy throughout, just career friends, mutual friends. She brought her idea to me. I was like, hey, what's that thing you're always talking about that you did and you went and launched by yourself and you tried? And when she brought it to me, I've been looking for so many years on something that I could also call my own. And she opened up that opportunity for me in that door. And it led us to where we're at today. We're about 19 months in, bootstrapped, some capital raised, and the rest is history. It's been an incredible ride. So, we're excited to share more about it.
I love the dynamic you guys have because, like, even being here on video, like, you could see the giggly, you could see the smiles. You guys have a really fun dynamic. which I'm sure makes it really fun to get the brainstorming and the bouncing the ideas off of each other. How has Be There developed from its original idea to now being in a tag team with Michael and it becoming, I guess, the development where it is now?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, because in the beginning, when I had done it by myself, I just wanted to test it out. So I pretty much was like, I'm going to teach myself how to code. I'm going to build my own website. I had nobody to help me. So I felt very lonely, but I was very, ecstatic to wanting to getting it done. But now with Michael by my side, it's like every day is a fun day. Every day it's something new that I have to solve, something new that needs to go down, and it just works. It works. It's very interesting because he brings in this dynamic of like his expertise with Uber, like he had mentioned with Uber Eats, and then I come in with like the hospitality space, and we just blend in together very well, where it just works out perfectly and it's fun.
One of the questions that I want to ask you guys, because I know it's something that's happened to me personally, especially in the tech space, because I come from TV, radio, media, broadcasting. So, influencer broadcasting, all of that. But I got into the tech space, right? So I love the fact that I can merge what I love to do, what I'm used to doing, and still learn something new. Is that how you guys feel about it, or how do you view it? Because now you're merging your expertise at Uber Eats, your expertise, whatever you picked up at Meta, and also what you picked up in the concierge space. And now you're mixing this and making like a almost like an arroz con pollo, right? You're putting all the you can tell you can tell it's lunchtime. I'm hungry. It's almost like an arroz con pollo, right? You have to put the veggies, you got to put the sazon, you got to put the seasoning, the chicken, the this, the that. So, like, how does that mesh? How's how that experience been to level up?
I'd like to touch on that because I think for me, realistically, is understanding your position and your role. And I understand Lucy's. And I've never been the idea guy. I've always been the execution person. So understanding that the idea and the vision really belongs to her, but she also respects the experience of execution. And I think that is because we hear all these horror stories about co-founders, but we really do enjoy what we do every single day. And we come together knowing that wherever I go, if Lucy's not present, we're representing Be There, and so is she. And we allow each other to learn, ask, fail, grow. But we understand the roles that each of us play within the business, and we know where we're good at, and we know where I need to lean on her because she has that experience, and she'll lean on me knowing that, hey, this guy has done this at this capacity before. So it really is, I truly believe in synergy. And also is how well do you get people to buy into your vision, and who's really there to help you support that and push it forward. So I'm in that position. I see her. I got very ecstatic about the idea. I'm like, girl, you have no idea what you have in your hands. Let's do it. I think this is big. This is massive. And that's what I support. I support the vision. I support the dream and her leadership. That's really it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that assume that because they're in one field, they're stuck there. And I think that technology and the tech space has really done a great job at saying, no, you don't have to stop there. This is very much growing and expanding and new ways to do so. And like, let's get ahead of this. Do you guys, like, what do you recommend to those founders that might have an idea like you guys did, or are like in a completely different field, but have maybe what they think is a tech idea and want to get into the tech space?
Yeah, I can actually touch up on that because for me, think about it. I come from a poker background. Concierge hospitality has nothing to really do or mesh into tech. So it's just having that innovative mindset, right? Where it's like, where are we going? Where's the future headed? We're seeing it with AI. We're seeing it with all these big companies. We're even headed into space now, like all these great things. So what I recommend people to really do is just focus on something, be passionate about it. And if there's a way to make it more efficient, more seamless, and also surrounding yourself with people who are already in the scene, which is what I did. I made sure to immerse myself into the tech space, attend events, listen to people pitching, even like the minimum thing. I remember when I first started, I would go to pitch competitions and I had no idea at the time. It was just me learning as I was going. So that's what I highly recommend for everybody to do if they do want to bring something to fruition.
Where do you guys see, where Be There is now? It's only been 19 months, which is nothing. It's still a baby. Where do you see your baby going within the next 5 years?
Yeah, I'm pretty much expecting everyone to have Be There in their hands. I want everyone to be able to, especially major cities, to be able to land and know that they have a trusted concierge that they can turn to, giving them the best experiences in the city, to the best connected experience providers that we have vetted. That's the way I see it. I think that the possibilities are endless. I think that it's going to really touch the local community. I think it's going to bring in more jobs. So I'm thinking of it like as a whole, not just as in like the product. It's like the ecosystem that I'm really trying to create here with Be There. And I know Mikey probably definitely agrees with what we're seeing here, but I know our vision is huge for Be There.
Yeah, and just to add, I think we're hearing so many fears in the industry of like how AI is taking over and AI is doing this and doing that. My personal opinion, I think we're far from that. I think we're just facilitating certain jobs that are repetitive that a machine could do. But working at Be There and building it the way we are, we see that AI and humans have to work hand in hand. So it's almost like removing that fear of the future. That's how I see it. That's how we position it, because one doesn't work without the other. Though there's efficiencies in the space that we're in and how we're trying to attack hospitality and tech, we understand the need for humans behind it. And, an AI can maybe plan your experience, but the one that gives it is a human. When you show up on that yacht, at that nightclub, on that boat, whatever it is you're doing here in the city or any city, it's still led by humans. We're just facilitating that contact between the two. So I don't think AI is really anything we should be fearing. On the contrary, I think we should be embracing it.
No, I absolutely agree. And we're in a space where there's so much growth in AI and people don't realize it. We haven't even touched the surface of what AI is going to bring to the table and change things in the next couple of years. So it's like, kind of having to get ahead of the game. How do we learn this ahead of time? How do we keep up? It's like, any social media platform or anything. It's not like you're going to be comfortable using it at first, but then you become a pro at it. So I feel like that's how I see where AI is, because even here, because I'm South Florida based, we see the huge difference that there is between South Florida and even, let's say, Silicon Valley in California, because we are still behind for what's already out there, because there is so much technology out there, not only here in, the West Coast, but like overseas or in China or in Japan. And they have a lot of these technologies, like that you said, AI can't, it's not like they're going to take over. They have to work hand in hand with us.
Exactly. No, and I firmly agree with that. And just to touch on like the difference in Miami, and I've been in those shoes where when we did Uber Eats, I came in as a contractor. No one knew if it was actually going to work, but there was boldness behind it. There was belief behind it, and then we brought something that initially restaurant owners rejected. And I remember those days where it was hard going door to door trying to make everyone a believer. And then we see it today, right? And I think most businesses, doesn't matter what side you stand on, look at situations like COVID. A lot of those businesses relied on that type of technology to exist, keep running. So again, my point is technology and humans, you can never separate the two. Just historically, we're seeing it.
Is there anything that could Be There be used right now as we speak?
It is actually being used right now. And that was something I wanted to piggyback off of what Mikey said, in terms of where we are with the technology and finding those pain points and talking to these hotels and figuring out, is this needed? Because I knew that before even entering into this space, I wasn't just going to waste my time or other people's times. I really wanted to prove the concept. And that's when I go back to me doing it on my own. So it's like been double times that I've already tested how much this is needed. And right now we are inside one hotel that is testing us with their corporate groups. They have 1,100 locations globally. So they see how much this is helping their guests and how easy it's becoming, because even the concierge itself inside the hotel doesn't have the resources that we're providing for these guests, because we're going to every single service provider and putting it all in one single place. So it's not just yachts, it's not just transportation, it's not just tours, it's everything all in one. And that's what's making the big difference. So yeah, we are being used right now, not only by the hotels, also like locals are using us. We have friends, it all started with friends because our friends would come in from different cities and ask us, hey, what can we do? Hey, you guys know? And we were like, I was like, you know what? Like, let's just monetize this, because people come to us all the time asking us what to do. They don't know. It's really hard in a city, like major city like Miami, that there's a lot of bait and switch. You have to be careful with the way that you're communicating. So we want to create that safe ecosystem here.
Is there for Be There Group, is there a feature for price point? Because I know that there's people that are looking to budget, especially when you're doing big family travel or group travel. People want a budget. A single mom's got to pinch those pennies.
I thought this girl, like, this was something that I was like, we want a budget. And my idea with Be There was that I always wanted it to be affordable to everyone. I wanted everyone who's saving their money to go on a vacation to be able to really experience the city like a VIP, right? Because, you save all year round for this. Some people have the luxury to do it all the time, but not most people, right? So that was my whole concept behind it. So what we did is that exactly. We have a bot named Mia. Mia speaks to you. She's like your concierge, your buddy, your friend that knows the city. And then you talk to her, and then she starts creating the itinerary for you. One of them being asking you about your budget, how many people you're coming with, what your vibe is, like, what are you trying to do here?
Awesome.
We want to we don't want you wasting time. The point is, let's reduce that time and you spend it on your vacation.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even I'm typically the family planner. I'm going to pack the things. How many bags do we need? This is the clothes, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But as a single mom now, I'm tired.
Of course.
And I don't I'm so worried about not forgetting things that I can't even think about ahead of time where we're going or what we're going to do. It's more let's just go with the flow for now, because if not, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that with something like Be There, it makes it's like, hey, I want A, B, C, D. I need X, Y, Z to cover this age group, and we want really good food. And then that's going to come up for me, because that at least makes it easier to find what I wanted. And it really is time saving.
And and to add to that, which is a great point, I think just based off research and data, what we've seen, and coming from Expedia reporting that on average a person spends 5 hours and over 38 sites visited before they book their first experience. And we're seeing now people are moving from, hey, look on Google or look it up here, to ask. We're moving into the ask ChatGPT, ask this, ask that. Yeah. So we want to step at the forefront when it comes to travel, tourism, that you ask Mia and you ask Be There, okay, what do you guys have curated for me based on your list of customers that you're working with, your providers, your vendors? What can you recommend to me when I visit Miami? And if you're anything like Lucy and I, we love when people enjoy our city. We love Miami. I'm all about my city. I'm all about Miami. 305 till I die. I love it. So I want every single person that steps foot in here to experience the best the city has to offer. And I think that goes with helping you with your budget and organizing you and putting you in front of the right experience, to knowing what your vibe is, your family. Like I mess with it and I'm like, hey, I have 2 kids, I have $5,000. What do you recommend? And then she goes to work, but she just doesn't only tell you, she has a conversation, she's intuitive, and Mia helps you from beginning to end. But again, if there's ever a human needed, we also provide that as well. And that's where the AI and human component come hand in hand.
I love it. How can any VCs, supporters, hotels, anybody in the entertainment industry, media, hospitality who wants to help, how can they contact you guys?
Yes, so my email is lucy@bethere.group, and Michael's email is michael@bethere.group. You can reach to us. We can share the pitch deck we're currently raising right now. Or if you just want any insights, you want to talk to us, we're more than happy to help, even if it's just to help you book your vacation manually right now. We're here to do that as well.
Well, I definitely am going to need some help booking my vacation, so I will be bothering you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show with us, and we really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys again and seeing where Be There really heads in the next couple months, in the next year or so.
Thank you so much, Jaylah. We appreciate your time.
We appreciate it.
Guys, that was another episode of Tech It Up with Café Cultura. It's your girl, Jaylah, and I will catch you next time. Bye.